Many of us want to open our third eyes, but are there any cons to having your third eye open? Let's take a look at pros and cons of opening your third eye. Third eye opening is not something as elusive as it used to be in ancient days. We no longer have to sit in the cave on top of the mountain for 30 years to get there. We're in entirely different density, and we also have a plethora of practices that are catered towards exactly that. And so once your third eye is open, what happens then? Are there any positive and negative sides to opening the third eye? Personally, I do not believe that there are any cons to opening the third eye. I've had mine open for a number of years, and I only see the pros. But for those who are just beginning, and for those who are considering and are not quite ready to handle the abilities and the side effects that come with having your third eye open, let's take a look at the cons first so we can finish strong with the pros. The number one con of the experience of having your third eye open is that your sensitivity will amplify. You will smell, feel, hear, be aware of things much stronger than you already are. It is like the volume on life is turned on at least 50%, sometimes 25% when you're just getting there. But everything gets louder. And so as a sensitive person, you might experience being overwhelmed by the sensory input that's going to be coming in, and also by the information that you might not be used to receiving. I remember that at the beginning, when I was just learning how to live in this new state of being with all of the abilities on all the time, with the third eye being on all the time, learning to experience life was something that I was going through, and conversations with people became very interesting because very often I was able to kind of get the second narrative, or the sense, the feeling, the knowing, intuitive knowing, when their verbiage was not matching what they were really thinking. And so the feeling came in that made the whole experience very uncomfortable. Very often it feels like as if you're talking into a wall and it's just bouncing back at you because the person is entirely elsewhere, and you're aware that they are not being sincere with you. You're aware that they are not speaking the truth to you, and on and on. And if you have this kind of ability already, a lot of us do as empaths, this will amplify to the next level entirely. Another thing that I experienced was seeing spirits and seeing entities in other people. When I looked at faces or into the eyes of other people, I could see the presences that were not visible to me before. This was a bit too much, and I actually asked for this ability to be shut down because it was distracting for me. Everywhere I went, everywhere, as soon as the person would walk in, I would see if they had any spirits, any attachments, and I also could download their story in a way that I would look at them and know, oh, this person is going through this, this, and that. And I said, hey, you know what? I don't need this kind of input every single day, everywhere I look. So I worked on just shutting that down, and I simply just asked my higher essence to have that toned down so that I can only utilize this when I need it, when I do the sessions. And honestly, all of your abilities can be kind of tapered with from the perspective of you requesting the abilities to amplify it to be shut down. I think shutting it down is much easier. So just asking for things to stop and they will stop, or asking to turn the volume down on the experience, that works as well. So these are the cons of having your third eye open, but the pros are exactly the same. The pros are that the volume of life is turned up and you are experiencing beauty like you've never experienced it before, as if all the colors are brighter, as if all the smells are incredibly more potent, as if the tastes and the sensual experiences on the skin and the whole experience of life is so much richer than what it is that you knew before. As if you were always driving behind the dirty windshield, and all of a sudden that windshield is clear and you now can see everything that is happening in such incredible detail. There are additional experiences that you might have. I remember that when I was just beginning, I started to be able to see through the blindfold during meditations. The first time that happened was at a workshop, and I opened my eyes in the middle of a meditation and I could see the room clearly, and I thought, probably my mask fell off while I was in meditation, and then I touched my face and I saw that, the mask was still on. That happened a number of times in my experience, and I think that when things like that happen, it is just fascinating. And then the ability to smell things from really far away, the ability to hear things from really far away, and the ability to have awareness of a presence from really far away. For example, I'd be in the room and all of a sudden I would feel like someone just walked in, and I would look and there would be no one around, and then I'd find an ant over there in the other corner of the room, and the tiny, tiny ant, and the presence, when your third eye is open, you are aware of that presence as if it's a whole big human being who just walked in. So these are the things that you can utilize in your practices if you are, for example, working as a reader, as a spiritual healer. You'll be more tuned into people. You'll be more aware of what's happening around. You'd be more able to download and receive information and to also channel that information for others. So opening the third eye for a practitioner is a fantastic asset. I know that in all my sessions, the first part of the session, I am in an altered state and my third eye is working hard for you guys when I'm facilitating sessions. When I'm done with that first part of your sessions, I usually am still experiencing super amplified sensory input. And so it is definitely something that I'm utilizing in my everyday practice as a practitioner. For those of you who want to experience the fullness of the human life altogether, this is a wonderful experience as well. And the additional benefit is that you receive access to what we call the divine. You receive access to the higher consciousness. You literally no longer are going to need Google. I use Google, I cheat. But in meditations, you can tune into the knowledge, the awareness of things that are nowhere else to be found. You can get all of your answers in the altered state when your third eye is open. You can receive guidance stronger when your third eye is open. In other words, you are going to be able to experience the completeness of what it is to be a human being with the filters removed, with the third eye on. And what a ride it is. I wish for all of you to find this level of bliss that comes with having your third eye on. My name is Isabella Greene. Thank you for tuning in today. I appreciate you following me and subscribing to my YouTube channel. I'll bring you all kinds of information on this channel. And if you'd like to have a private session with me, you can reach me at IsabellaGreene.com. I'll see you next time. Take care now. Namaste.